you all for coming to our luncheon. After a winter of Zoom meetings, it's nice to see actual faces and to have conversations around the table. This is wonderful. I hope the food is to everyone's liking. The bathrooms are off to the side there, down the hallway if you need it. But I want to welcome you. I hope that you all have been busy with your table tasks there. And so if you want to send a representative up with your box, with your community, please bring your box up to the community and place it on the front podium here. So could you have a representative come up with your box and let's put it at the table. These boxes, yes, just a little, no. All right, she's going for the prime spot. All right, the boxes represent, with all of the colorful stickers that you put on, just a sampling of all of the tasks that you have done, and I know that people in this room have done, to help build the civic health of your community. And these boxes celebrate the community builders that we are. Thank you very much for working on that. Let's go ahead and get started with our program. So we want to start our program with our land acknowledgement. Mary Beth, could you come up?
Hi, everybody. In owning our past and charting our future, we, the League of Women Voters of Dane County, recognize the indigenous peoples who are the original stewards of the lands on which we now live, while we struggle to learn more about the current and ongoing context of colonialism. League formation began more than a century ago in 1920 with women's suffrage, but nearly 2 centuries ago, even prior to the 1848 creation of the state of Wisconsin, an 1832 treaty forced the Ho-Chunk to cede their territory of Tejop, or 4 Lakes. But the federal and state governments repeatedly but unsuccessfully sought to forcibly remove the Ho-Chunk from Wisconsin. Truth and acknowledgement are critical to building mutual respect and connections across all barriers of heritage and difference. We continue this effort to acknowledge what has been buried by honoring the truth. In Dane County, we are all standing on the stolen ancestral lands of the Ho-Chunk people. We pay respect to their elders past, present, and future. Please take a moment to consider the many legacies of the violent displacement, migration, and settlement that bring us together today. League of Women Voters of Dane County is grateful for the past, present, and future guidance of Wisconsin's Native nations.
Thank you very much, Mary Beth. I am Martha Stanford, and I'm the program director of the League of Women Voters of Dane County, and I'm proud to be part of a nonpartisan political organization that encourages the informed and active participation of citizens and government, as well as increasing the understanding of public policy issues and even influencing public policies through education and advocacy when our membership comes to a consensus. You can be an active part of the League. A lot of you are. There's multiple ways that you can take part. If you are interested in a particular topic, here are the 4 topics that we're going to focus on in the upcoming year. Plus, we're looking for folks to help out with rallies and voter service. And the League of Women Voters of Wisconsin is coming to the Rotunda to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the Voter Rights Act. So we as Dane County want to welcome the other members from from across the state when they come. So that's what that sign up is for. We do have upcoming events. Of course, the most important is the annual meeting, and I hope you go to the Capitol Lakes on May the 17th for that. But we also have a book discussion coming up. So now's the time to pick up the book there it is, How Civil Wars Start and How to Stop Them. So if you want to participate in that, email books at LWV danecounty.org to participate in that book discussion. And if you'd like, you are also welcome to either in person at Menominee Falls or virtually join the League of Women Voter of Wisconsin annual meeting in early June. So you're welcome to participate that. Whoops, not yet. Too early. All right. The League cannot carry on its work without the assistance of many others. Today, we honor one of our community members who has contributed to our highly successful voter registration program. Beth Foltz, our voter service co-chair, will present the Outstanding Voter Service Award.
Hi, everybody. Happy spring. It's been quite a year since we had our last Lively Issues gathering. And although there are no more elections until almost a year from now, we know that we have our work cut out for us defending our democracy. So as Marty indicated, one of the things we've learned in doing our work is how important it is to have very strong partners. And so today, I'm about to present this award, which is always given to a community partner who's helped us in our work. And I'm delighted to say that this year's award goes to Tana Elias, Director of the Madison Public Library, not only to recognize Tana's leadership, but also to honor the Madison Public Library's exemplary service to the voters of our community throughout the year. As you all probably know, for 2 weeks before each election, the city's libraries host in-person absentee voting for Madison citizens. And it's a service that involves significant adjustments, shall we say, to library work processes and spaces and procedures. And if you remember back to the fall and you were involved at all in that, you know that during in-person absentee voting for that election in November, which produced record turnout, many of the libraries went above and beyond by staying open after their regular business hours in order to accommodate lines of voters who were still waiting at the close of voting hours. And the staff were absolutely unfailingly cooperative and courteous despite that unexpected disruption to their normal operations. In addition, as part of the library's ongoing year-round mission, the Madison Public Libraries help eligible city residents register to vote. The library staff are trained in registration procedures, and they assist residents who are new to Madison or who have moved to a new local address to complete that process. And they also provide information to all of the library patrons who are new to the library system. They put the League's bookmark in all their welcome packets, and they have also information available that is produced by the Madison City Clerk's Office that acquaints people with voting in Madison. And before each election, of course, the Madison Public Libraries are one place that people can have access to Candidates' Answers, which is the League's publication with nonpartisan candidate information. So they do a ton for us and help us in many different ways. None of this happens without a strong leader committed to civic engagement. Tana Elias has 30 years of experience in various roles at Madison Public Library, where she has led many different strategic and planning efforts, managed staff and staff engagement initiatives, and implemented all kinds of innovative services and programs. She is an active member of several professional associations and serves on a nonprofit board in the community, so she is a most engaged person. And we are delighted to recognize Tana and the entire public library system for their service to our community, especially the voting public. We are grateful not only to Tana for her leadership and collaboration, but also to all of the creative, dedicated, knowledgeable staff who work with her in libraries throughout the city. Tana, would you like to come up and accept the award? I'll read the bullet points that are on here. So Tana Ellis, to honor her exemplary service to the community, hosting in-person absentee voting for City of Madison citizens, helping City of Madison citizens register to vote, and providing voting information to all patrons. There we go. Here while you're.
Come here.
Yeah.
Sorry. Thank you so much.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, thank you, Beth. That was a wonderful introduction, and you stole some of my talking points, but that's okay. So it is an honor to be here today with all of you on behalf of Madison Public Library. And thank you to Kathleen Fullen, who had reached out to me about this award initially and with whom I've worked over many years to coordinate making League of Women Voters materials available in our libraries. I first learned about the League of Women Voters of Dane County in the early 1990s when I came here to go to graduate school. When voting in my first Wisconsin election, Candidates' Answers, which I found in my local public library, was an invaluable resource to me in educating myself about the issues and candidates in my new city. Libraries and voting are a natural partnership. As institutions that provide information, resources, programs, and public spaces for all, libraries serve as cornerstones for civic engagement. The core principles that underscore public libraries also help support democratic elections, access to free information reflecting a variety of perspectives, service to all members of our community, and a belief that literacy and education empowers everyone in our society. For many years, Madison Public Library has partnered with League of Women Voters of Dane County to provide access to Candidates' Answers, voter awareness bookmarks, and host candidate forums and other civic engagement events. At the same time, our libraries have served as polling places for decades. More recently, when in-person absentee voting was expanded in our state in 2016, the Madison City Clerk's office reached out to us to ask if we would be interested in hosting in-person absentee voting in public libraries. We said yes, and that began a new partnership to offer convenient and expanded access to voting for all Madison residents. During that time, as you've already heard, we found additional ways to expand access to voting in the city. Our frontline staff are now authorized to register people to vote. We incorporated the League of Women Voter-produced bookmarks into our new library card welcome packets in English and Spanish, reaching nearly 14,000 people each year, many of whom are new to the city. And we promote voting in all of our marketing platforms, from email to in-person signage to social media, helping reach new users who maybe hadn't heard about voting services either through the city or through the League of Women Voters or all the many other messaging that happens throughout the city. And that partnership works. In 2024, over 44,000 in-person absentee ballots were cast in or returned to a Madison Public Library location, right? That represents 64% of all in-person absentee voting happening in the city in 2024. Our staff also registered nearly 5,000 new voters, 7% of all voter registrations in the city for the year. By working together, we have a greater impact. On behalf of the library, I am so grateful for the opportunity to be an active part of voter engagement in our community and for the strong partnerships we've built along the way. And I'm personally grateful to our wonderful library staff who have gone, as Beth said, above and beyond in helping visitors register to vote and who balance in-person absentee voting crowds and election day work with the regular work of a busy public library. It's due to the hard work of library staff and the staff at the city clerk's office and all of you that I can accept this award today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's now time for the 50-year member board. The League has a tradition of recognizing individuals who have been members for 50 years. Each year, we honor these longtime members, some of which have joined local leagues elsewhere in the past, but who are celebrating their 50th year of membership with the League here with the League of Women Voters of Dane County. We're grateful for the dedication of our 50-year members. President Sue Jenick will help us celebrate the committed member that we have coming at the luncheon today.
Good afternoon. Last week, our National League issued a press release stating that our country is in a constitutional crisis and announcing its initiative to combat the ongoing attacks on our democracy. This initiative, Unite and Rise 8.5, aims to mobilize 8.5 million voters to drive change, including through advocacy, mobilization, civic education, and engagement. Our local league will participate in this initiative, and you will hear more about it soon. The success of this luncheon is owed to many. Our sponsor, the law firm Stafford Rosenbaum, right over here. The program team that planned the luncheon, and you'll see them all around busy, still doing tasks. Our keynote speaker, and all of you who have attended. We also thank Margaret Fugit, who interviewed the 50-year members. We especially appreciate members like Phyllis Thain and Sybil Better, who for 50 years have dedicated their many talents to the League. Their complete interviews are on your tables, and I will just highlight their impressive accomplishments. Unfortunately, Phyllis Thain can't join us today, and her certificate will be sent to her, but I want you to hear a little bit about her. She was raised in Malden, Massachusetts, graduating from their excellent public schools in 1953. She wanted to attend college in 1953 and applied to Tufts University, which an uncle had attended. Her strong work in math and science led her to the College of Engineering. She received a degree in civil engineering in 1957. After graduation, Phyllis was hired by the Navy and sent to school to study ship design. She worked as a naval architect for 5 years in Massachusetts and then 8 years in Washington, D.C. She married and started a family and decided to stay home with her children for a while. Joining the League gave her a way to be active outside of the home. And I think that was true of many League members at that time. At the time, the League in DC was focused on marital property rights. She moved to Madison in 1974 when her husband accepted a position at UW-Madison, and she resumed her activity in the League. Over the years, she served many roles in the League, as treasurer for 4 years and as the voter service chair for over a decade. And we know how much of a job that is. She enjoyed participating in the evening discussion groups and supported the League's efforts as a volunteer at the weekly farmers market in the Hilldale area for many years. Today, Phyllis continues to be active in helping with the core mission of the League, writing postcards, urging voter participation in Wisconsin's spring election. She gained important skills and abilities through her participation with the League and took a job using these newly acquired skills. She worked for 10 years at UW-Madison as an assistant to the faculty lobbyist, where she monitored the state legislature on their actions that affected the faculty and wrote a newsletter listing issues that could affect the faculty. She encourages others to join the League because it is important, valuable work that keeps you informed and up to date on the issues of the day. She's made a lot of good friends through the League and never stopped learning. Thanks to Phyllis Thain for her 50 years of membership and activity in the League of Women Voters. Sybil Better was born in New York City and attended the New York City public schools. Her mother was a homemaker and her father was a furrier. As a child, she loved visiting his shop where she picked up small fur scraps for dolls and pieces of chalk. Growing up in New York City, she attended many plays and musicals with her mother, which led to her lifelong love of theater going. She attended Queens College for an undergraduate degree and then received a graduate degree from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, where she specialized in medical sociology, which today would be called health policy. In Madison, Sybil met her husband, who was studying economics. His teaching career took them to Nebraska, North Carolina, and Alabama. As they moved, she was employed teaching sociology courses, including medical sociology, coordinating allied health programs, and conducting research on the Social Security Disability Insurance Program. Upon returning to Wisconsin, Sybil worked as a health planner, a state budget office analyst, and then a policy analyst. She ended her career at UW-Madison as a special assistant to the chancellor and the medical school dean. She continues to volunteer and stay busy as a volunteer tax preparer, an AARP legislative advocate, an election official, and an usher at the Overture Center. Sybil first joined the League while living in Greensboro, North Carolina. She enjoyed being part of a group of well-educated women who were interested in politics and looked back fondly on the lively conversations. Since returning to Wisconsin, Sybil has held several League leadership positions, including Secretary and Vice President of the Dane County League. She is now a member of our local League's Finance Committee and serves on the State League's Legislative Committee, which monitors and acts on legislation at the state level. She works with several other League members from around the state who are passionate about the health of Wisconsinites. I have worked with Sybil on the State Legislative Committee and have always found her to be thoughtful and committed to the League. Sybil Better, thank you. And the certificate of recognition is proudly awarded to Sybil Better of the League of Women Voters of Dane County for her 50-year membership in the League. Sybil Better is a life member of the League of Women Voters with all the privileges this status affords. We extend our sincerest thanks for your dedication to empowering voters and defending democracy. And it's signed by Diana Wynn, LWVUS Board President.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I would just add on, since you've honored the library, that I do my election official work at the Central Library.
Okay, thank you. Enjoy the rest of the event.
And we're not done. We have the honor of welcoming our Defender of Democracy Award. And to introduce that, we have Brooke Solvet to help introduce us to our wonderful Democracy Award winner.
Thank you, Marty. Before I begin, Sue has not had the opportunity to get to know Priscilla Thain. But as someone who's known her for many, many years and worked with her and actually been to the Rotary meeting where she was given a service award for her voter service work, I just wanted to make sure you all knew it's Priscilla Thain. Anyway, Ernestine, I am so grateful that I was selected to be the person to introduce you. I'm going to read a little bit from the award document, but I've known Ernestine since I joined the League, I think in 2008, and she's a pretty darn hard worker. Ernestine was raised in a small town in Arkansas where her parents instilled in her and her 15 siblings, I think many of whom may be with us today, the difference between right and wrong and how to treat others as you would like them to treat you. Her parents also taught their children that you must give respect to earn respect. She's proud of how she was able to teach her daughter these same lessons. A lifelong learner, Ernestine sought to challenge herself, even at an early age. She was one of those students who took shop classes as well as home ec. As a middle child of a large family, she also learned how to negotiate. Her life experience taught her qualities of effective leadership, such as how to network and use diplomacy, how to be patient and maintain persistent effort. She defied her small town's expectations, went to college. Ernestine graduated in 1983 with a bachelor's degree in rural sociology from UW-Madison. Upon entering the workforce, she held several jobs before landing in Wisconsin state government, where she worked for the next 27 years in many positions and departments until her retirement. In addition to her professional work, Ernestine has applied her knowledge and skills to organizations whose missions reflect her commitment to democratic values. These include the Black Health Coalition, Communities United, and the NAACP, as well as the Delta Sigma Theta sorority, one of the Divine Nine. These organizations share her belief in the promise of the preamble of the U.S. Constitution, that all these things always make me cry, that all American citizens have a right to pursue happiness and enjoy freedom under the law, as well as the citizens' duty to work toward a government that provides for the general welfare, while establishing domestic tranquility. Ernestine has been focused on advocating for women's rights, civil rights, and especially the right to vote. Ernestine was familiar with the LWV's work in moderating candidate forums when she accepted an invitation to attend a Dane County League's Lively Issues Luncheon. There she was impressed with the welcoming culture of the group. She not only joined, but quickly actively engaged, serving over the years on numerous committees. She has attended a national convention and served on boards at the state and local level. In 2010, she began her 2-year term as president of LWVDC, a year that the League was marking its 90th birthday. She continues her work with the League, participating in voter outreach and voter registration throughout the area. She remains active in promoting voter access with the League and like-minded organizations. Ernestine values the critical thinking League membership encourages, as well as how active League members are in taking on challenges and addressing the problems of their time. She appreciates the League's continued dedication to equity, diversity, and inclusion. I am honored to present to you Ernestine Morris. This is for you.
Thank you, Brooke. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain, and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Good evening. My name is Ernestine Moss, your 2025 Defender of Democracy awardee. It is my distinct honor and privilege to accept this award. I accept this honor with humility and gratitude and do not take it for granted. Thank you. I extend a hearty thank you to our illustrious President, Sue Janik, and the Board of Directors, elected officials, if we have any here today, and every one of you for being here today. You could have been someplace else, but you chose to be with us. I want to thank the past presidents that I've served with, 15 of them, since joining in 2024. And I especially want to give a shout out to Clara Mercado, who recruited me, and Brooke, you are such a gem who has really, really been resourceful. And all the women that I've worked with in the League have really been welcoming and resourceful. I am a proud African American standing on the shoulders of many freedom fighters, Black, white, Indigenous people, and many others. I started my journey in a small town in Arkansas, a place where racism abound. We, Black, poor whites, and migrant Mexicans, worked hard and long hours. My family was blessed to work in our own field as well as theirs. The power that be referred to us as boy or girl, regardless of your age. When going to school, we gathered across from the corner store to catch the bus separately. Bus for white kids, bus for the Black kids. While we were in that culture, our parents, a mom with the 6th grade education and a dad with the 9th grade education, respectively, taught us that we are proud people because we come from a lineage of proud people. And we should always walk with our head held high. You might ask, why focus on the preamble? I'm glad you asked. The preamble introduces us to the Constitution of the United States of America. It's full of hope and promise. Although we all know that it wasn't written for people of color or women in mind, many of us have felt that that hope and promise was within our reach. But today, many of our hard-fought milestones and accomplishments toward freedom and equality are being reversed and taken away. And once again, it appears that equality might be further in a distance. I say, do not despair, because there are some mothers and fathers out there with their children who will help to make sure they get their education and work with them on current events and help them to know that they too have a role to play. Growing up with parents and 15 siblings, a lot of mediation and negotiation occurred. Of course, there was little negotiation with my parents because everybody knew who was in charge. I am proud to say my parents raised 14 children to adulthood without interaction with the justice system. 12 of us completed high school, and most completed several levels of college, earning associate's degrees, a bachelor's, master's, or PhD. Others received certification from the Job Corps that allowed them to make a livable wage for them and their families. Our parents taught us to do unto others as you would have them do unto you, unquote. In hindsight, my family worked a lot like the government. If you ask Mom for permission for something, she'd say, ask your dad. He would say, what did your mom say? My point is, you don't get a yes unless they both agree. Kind of like the House of Representatives and the Senate. Growing up in a Christian family, and we were also taught to share the load and try to leave things better, in a better shape than we found them. They taught us to trust in God, said trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Of course, there were other verses they taught us, but that one really sticks. I have lived by these principles regardless of my situation. These are just a few of the reasons why I have found comfort in being able to work with and beside the amazing women and men. And I'll repeat that, the amazing women and men in the League of Women Voters of Dane County, as well as the women in my illustrious sorority, Delta Sigma Theta sorority, and the NAACP and various other organizations. All these organizations have helped to shape me as I am. We hear repeatedly that it takes a village to raise a child, and it does. My family, people in my community, like Dr. Richard Harris, Babu Phyllis Carter, Professor Frida High, Christine Hodge, and great number of others provided direction, as well as the mothers in the church. They provided directions, offered words of encouragement, or gave a smile. It let me know that I mattered, and my daughter mattered as well. Today's lively issues focus on civic health. And I am grateful to be here among you because we are in a period of history that our democracy has never seen before. Excuse me. And I hope that I will never see it again. Sure. Sure, we've seen our country go back and forth before, but we have never seen the blatant disregard for our Constitution of the United States or our judicial system. The sad part about our country is that the children are watching. And we can only pray that they live in households that are able and willing to teach them the truth. We used to look to government officials to help us clarify things, the principles on which this country was founded. But that is no longer the case. It is up to all of us. The League of Women Voters, our partners and allies, to stand firm and continue to defend democracy. The one thing I want you to remember is that democracy only works if we all participate. Thank you.